Okay.
Okie doke. All right, well, good evening. Thank you so much for coming on to our Zoom tonight, our webinar about the Tower Garden. And we're super excited to share this information with you tonight. My name is Doug Farrar, and this is my lovely wife, Sharon. And you can see our picture in the upper left-hand corner there. That's us installing a Tower Garden farm at a school down in Dade County, or Miami, Florida. And we've been involved with the Juice Plus company for 15 years, and for the Tower Garden since their inception about 4 years ago. And we have a special guest tonight on our tower on Doug and Sharon's Zoom room. That is Alayna Stoner, and you see her on the right there in her blue shirt, her wonderful Juice Plus shirt, and she is super excited about the Tower Garden, and she's going to share some great information with us later on about what she's doing with her Tower Garden. So,
what will you learn today?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to learn how to grow good health, how the Tower Garden is being used around the world, how it works.
And you're going to learn how to start your own Tower Garden, how to get started and how to get rolling. And we know that nowadays we have a tremendous problem in our food supply.
You know, one of the things that we're battling nowadays is genetically modified foods and also pesticides.
Yes, and you know, if you're a healthy person and you're trying to eat organic and you're trying to do the right thing and buy really fresh fruits and vegetables that are grown organically, that it gets really, really, really expensive. So it's a challenge for a lot of people.
Well, one of the problems also is that our produce is picked before it's ripened. You know, there's a lot that goes into transportation. I've heard it said that it goes through maybe even 9 different vehicles and warehouses before it gets to the store. Then when it gets to the store, it might even get irradiated or gassed just so that it shows up as a bright red tomato or an apple, or it might get waxed, things like that. But really, transportation is an issue, and there's a locavore movement where everyone really wants to get their produce fresh and local and vine ripened. And that's not what we're getting if we're just buying from the store, which is getting it from far away.
Yeah, and that whole process, I mean, I think it's kind of gross in a way, honestly, and I hate the thought of that. So I love when I'm able to pick my own food right off my Tower Garden and eat it fresh. We're not able to do 100% of our food that way, but we know that when we do, we know where it's coming from. So with all these problems that we have, we know that we have in the Tower Garden a wonderful solution.
Yeah, the Tower Garden was really made as a solution for future growing. You know, it doesn't take up as much space. It's vertical, so it goes up and down, and it's really new into the future, or innovative, to grow up instead of take up a lot of space. And it's also aeroponic and hydroponic. There might be some other hydroponic systems out there, but this is like NASA technology where aeroponic lets air or oxygen go to the roots. So 15 minutes on with water and nutrients, 15 minutes on or off with air, and that way it grows stronger and faster with that aeroponic system.
And you can grow almost any vegetable, herb, or flower and many fruits in the Tower Garden while using, because the water is recycled over and over through the tower, it conserves water. And that's like a huge problem as the earth is so much more populated and we're having struggles like feeding the huge population. This is another future innovation of being able to conserve water. I think we use only 10% of the water of traditional gardening.
And I have to say that that is one of my major problems with plants, is I forget to water them every day. And this waters itself. So I love that. That's the only reason why I can grow anything is on the Tower Garden. Oh, I love Tim Blank. He's the chief horticulturist, or he was, at Epcot. And I love his story. If you haven't seen it, ask the person who invited you to send you this video, where he went to Epcot as a child and he really fell in love with the horticulture, the land exhibit, and he really wanted to work there. And so he really made sure his dreams came true. And he spent a lot of time there learning the technology of the future. And he's the one that invented the Tower Garden.
And the Tower Garden is also popping up a lot in media. It's been featured in ABC News, CNN, the New York Times. On the bottom left there, That's actually an urban farm that's at the O'Hare Airport, and they're growing the greens that are being used in the restaurants in the O'Hare Airport. And then up on the right, you see President Clinton. He's walking through. That's actually a green homeless shelter in Los Angeles, where they have tower gardens and they're growing produce for the people there. So it's all over the place. It's gaining in popularity, and even for the kids out there, it was even featured in the new Call of Duty video game. There's actually a spot in the video game where there's tower gardens. So that's pretty cool.
And it was even in Better Homes and Gardens magazine as a beautiful way to garden.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's pretty cool. Jessica Alba is a popular movie star, and she has her own company where she is growing healthy products. She's increasingly getting more and more into like the health industry. Well, a couple of years ago, she actually bought tower gardens for all of her friends for Christmas. So she's a big fan of the tower garden as well.
I would definitely want to be one of her friends.
Yeah.
Oh, this was me on the left, except I didn't buy that boxed way to garden. But really, I could not do it. You know, it just kind of withered, and it took up a lot of space, and it didn't really look good either. I love the tower garden because it's really clean. There is no dirt. It doesn't take up space, like I mentioned, but also the insects are very few because you're not growing in the dirt. You're using the water as a medium for the minerals.
Yeah, and if you look at that little, I think they call those raised beds on the left. We used to do that. We had a lot of problems doing that. Yeah. Watering it alone is just a nightmare. But that's only 15 plants, and that'd be a lot of work to start those 15 plants. But on the tower gardens you see on the right, just one of those tower gardens is 20 plants. So in that same amount of space, you have 40 different plants. And that's why you can provide so much great produce off of it. So what can you grow?
Well, you can grow anything that's not a root or a tree. So you can see on the left some fruits and vegetables, herbs, and even edible flowers. We love to grow herbs that we use every day, like cilantro, basil, to make some pesto. We love to grow lettuce because it tastes so much better than the store-bought lettuce. And then things like kale, Swiss chard, all those things, after you cut them down a little bit, they grow back, especially mint. There's different ones that you cut them, they grow back, and just continues, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm really into the lettuces because there's just, for me, I'm trying to eat a lot of salads in my diet right now. So to be able to just pick it off your tower garden or just go grab some kale. And the cool thing is when you see like a head of lettuce like behind us, when you take some of that lettuce to make your salad, it's not like that plant is done. It starts growing back. So it keeps providing over and over for several growing cycles before you have to grow a new one.
And what's great also is that the same tonic grows all those different vegetables and herbs. You don't have to have different one for peppers, different one for lettuce. Here's my friend Alexandra, and you can just see how giddy she is about growing her own. She's coming in to bring her lettuce for her tacos, and her son took the picture. And I just love that because no matter what, it's also a lot of fun. It's kind of like entertainment to watch everything grow. I know that a lot of people have pictures of their tower garden in their phone. They share them on Facebook. They love to see the beauty of it all.
Yeah,
the fun of it all.
It really is great. On the upper left here, this is one of our tower gardens recently. That's when we decided to go all lettuces recently.
Pretty much.
And that was great because, again, I loved it so much. And you can talk about your princess on the bottom.
There's my princess on the bottom. She will eat off the tower garden. Actually, her little friend is over, and she just grabbed some. I don't know what she grabbed from behind because we were kicking her out of here. But she grabbed some off the tower garden really quick. Kids just love it. It's a simple way for them to grab and learn, and they just eat off of it. It's wonderful.
And on the upper right, you see some people choose to buy multiple tower gardens like this home here, and it's really beautiful, but also look at all the plants they have growing. So when you have a bunch of towers like that, you can literally feed probably more than just your own family with your tower gardens. And notice on the bottom right, if you there's an option to have grow lights with it. If you're up in a winter area where the growing season is much shorter, or maybe you don't have available space outside if you're in an apartment or something like that, you can use grow lights and still produce year-round.
And I know someone who has it right in her kitchen, Maria, her friend Maria, and she just grabs from the tower and uses it right in her kitchen. It's wonderful.
That is incredible.
And these are two little princesses. They live in Key West, and they are watching their seeds sprout. And you can see their excitement in watching things grow. And that's how you grow. You just plant the seeds, and it just sprouts right out of there, and then you stick it in the tower garden.
Yeah, the kids just get fascinated. We have a lot of fun doing this. I have an education background, and you'll see a lot of pictures here. These are all tower gardens in the classrooms. And you see they can grow on the inside. Some of these pictures are again, from the first slide also. Down in the bottom right, you see that's at the Lubavitch Education Center in Miami. It's an all-girls school, and the 7th and 8th grade girls take care of all these 9 tower gardens, and it is amazing how excited they get.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them
that
about
was
the boys,
so much fun.
The Boys and Girls Club.
The Boys and Girls Club is another avenue. Our company has a mission statement, first of all, to inspire healthy living, but they also have a foundation where they've adopted the motto of inspiring healthy giving. So one of the things they're doing is installing one free tower garden in every single Boys and Girls Club in America and Canada. So if there is one near you that doesn't have a tower garden yet, get with the representative who you know so that they can get that free one for your Boys and Girls Club. And so it's really taking off. It's a way for residential use, for school use, and it's just so easy.
We have lots of towers going into schools down here, and so again, if you know a teacher, or maybe in your child's school they have a garden or something, these things are perfect for the school. So make sure you tell your school about it, and you can help that refer that back to that person that invited you to this call.
And I have to say that the schools really love it because they want to be on the cutting edge of technology, and it's really like a selling point for them to keep their students or attract students.
Absolutely.
They love that.
Well, right now I want to invite Alayna to unmute herself. And I got to find you.
Share too.
I'm going to stop sharing, and I got to find her. Where's my gallery view? I'm going to find you, and I'm going to make her, there she is.
You see me?
Spotlight her.
Oh, hey.
And there you go. Everybody should see Alayna, full screen.
In
cool.
sunny San Diego.
Yeah.
Well, show us what you got going on.
All right. So this is my baby. The water just turned off. So I'll go ahead and tell you guys why we got a tower garden. Let me start with my black thumb. I should have painted it black. It was that bad. I was killing everything you could possibly imagine. My poor husband was so frustrated. And, we were just tired of spending money on everything that had to do with soil. And as you can see, living in military housing, we don't have much. There's the fence. There's the wall. We don't have much space at all in military housing. And a lot of places in San Diego, for that matter, are very small. So this made a lot of sense to us. And when we started harvesting, it wasn't but barely 4 months from seed to the start of little tomatoes. I'll turn this around for you guys. Little tomatoes coming through. We have beefsteak and cherry tomatoes growing on my plant. This is gorgeous right now. Look at those colors.
Beautiful.
And it wasn't but barely 4 months that we found ourselves harvesting, I think anywhere between 10 and 12 ounces a week in these fresh vine ripened tomatoes. And that was huge for us because of how fast we go through tomatoes in our salads and our dinners. And then we invested in the kale, which is actually very trimmed back right now. But if you see some of my pictures, feel free to add me on Facebook. It's insane how much kale we were getting. I'm not kidding. Organic kale goes for like $2.99 a pound. We would have probably I don't even know. We were spending maybe $10 a week on fresh kale, like at a grocery store. And now we get it for pennies a day. So it's huge. And I'll show you, my husband and I, we do a lot of practical things, but a lot of fun things too. We have, your practical herbs. We have cilantro, mint. It smells so good. Oregano. We have celery growing, Swiss chard. We have chives, romaine lettuce. I have a baby watermelon growing. and then spinach, and then of course my insane jungle of tomatoes.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely worth it. So not only are we growing to, you know, get that variety, and it's working for us, we are getting to have something to do together. It's so relaxing to come out here after a super long day at work. He's the leading petty officer in his command, and he has a very stressful job. So getting to come here and prune our tomatoes and listening to that trickling water, the research on the Tower Garden says how, you know, healing it can be for the mind, body, and soul. So yeah, it's a blessing. We absolutely love it. Wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And the best part being a military family is it's a portable garden. That's what
There you go.
I can take it wherever we go. So
Awesome.
thanks, Doug and Sharon.
Great.
I appreciate you hosting us tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for your contribution.
That's awesome. Awesome. I'm
I
gonna
love that.
pin us. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Wow. Thank you, Alayna. That is so cool. And we're going to be doing these once a month. And we're going to have different guests come on. So we're going to be featuring different tower gardens from around the country, maybe even around the world. So keep tuned. All right. So we've learned all about the tower garden. We've seen Alayna's. And I want to show you guys this really quick video. It's super short, but it's really cool to see how this thing works. So check this out.
Tower Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better-tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your Tower Garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, the nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
Oops.
Well, now that you've learned about the Tower Garden and how it works and why it might make sense, just know that you would get everything that you would need to start the Tower Garden right away. And it comes like within 3 to 5 days. It really ships out fast. You get seeds that come with it, and you can also order your own seeds from other places. We have recommendations. And then you have the medium in order to grow those seeds. You have the tonic that feeds the plants, and you have a pump and a timer. So you have everything you really need to get started on your Tower Garden.
Yeah, it's all there. It's not like you're going to be running out to the store trying to fill in the gaps or anything.
No.
All you need to do is put water in there.
And people often ask, how much does it cost? And it's $45.25 a month for 12 months. The company really wants people to have this in an affordable way. They're not charging interest, and so they are spacing it out so that everyone can feel that this is affordable. And the faster you get started growing your plants, then it really starts to pay for itself.
Yeah, and I know, just like Alayna was saying about how she's realizing the value of it because she's getting so much produce from it, we feel the same way. We actually have 2 tower gardens, and it's amazing how much food it actually grows. So it certainly begins to pay for it. It pays for itself in the first month, but after after the first 12 months, after that first 12 months, everything after that, it's kind of like having a money tree or something. It's just growing you money. So it's really amazing, and we love it.
And like Alayna said, well, I don't know where she's getting her kale, but $2.99 a pound is actually a good price for organic kale. But I've seen $3.99 for a lot of things like arugula, kale, Swiss chard. even the tiny basil packages, those are like $3. And, you know, it really pays for itself because it grows back each time. You know, you cut it down, it grows back. So it really is a way to save money in the long run.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, I don't know. Let me check the chat and see if anybody had any questions. Everybody's saying hi. That's great. If anybody has any questions, they can ask them in the chat. And I want to encourage you while you guys do that to remember that you can get with the person that invited you to this webinar to find out more, to find out how you can become an owner of it. And also, the same people that would have invited you here, we also have these healthy Facebook groups that we want to invite you to be a part of. And it's a community on Facebook, and it's really great because we have healthy tips. We talk about tower gardens. We talk about all kinds of great things. And so again, I don't see any questions coming up. So I
unmute everyone just in case. Yeah. This could get crazy.
Let me stop the recording.